ladies and gentlemen, Dameon Nelson coming to you here with another update here on PWR Express, Pro Wrestling Report Express. Today we're going to talk about yesterday's WWE RAW. RAW came to us from Charlotte, North Carolina. It was touted as the return of Ric Flair, and also a night where we figured we would see Chris Jericho return to WWE ring action. Well, we saw that, folks. We saw the opening match with the main event, which was Triple H and Jeff Hardy teaming up to go up against Umaga and Snitsky. At the end of that match, we saw the general manager of Raw, William Regal, announce that it would be Triple H versus Jeff Hardy at Armageddon. And by the way, this night turned into the Armageddon match building night. We saw that happen. Unique matchup coming up for Armageddon. Good match, solid opener to the show. Instead of doing it with a promo, occasionally WWE will split it up or switch it up a little from time to time. Other significant happenings from Raw, we then saw Ric Flair return. He came out and teased a retirement, but then said what I have said for a long time, which is that Ric Flair will settle for nothing less than dying in the middle of that ring, saying he has no plans of retiring and he will not retire. Charlotte ate it up. Of course, his hometown, Ric Flair's of Charlotte, North Carolina. Out comes Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon says, oh, you will retire, and you will once you lose your first match. Now, what does that mean? Disqualifications count? Do countouts count? Is it just pinfalls? Well, we would see later on in the night what that may or may not mean when Ric Flair took on Randy Orton, who came out and challenged Flair after thanking him for being his mentor and being a man who taught him a lot in the first few years of his career. It was Ric Flair tribute night, ladies and gentlemen. We saw Shawn Michaels. We saw an applause in the back before his match. We saw very emotional Ric Flair, as usual, get involved in the Raw activities. Chris Jericho comes out. Y2J returns. He challenges Randy Orton yet again, making it clear that he does indeed want the WWE Championship and a match with Randy Orton. Well, that was thwarted by Santino Marella. Santino Marella coming in and actually interfering in that promo, and very, very funny, calling Y2J KYJ. KYJ. Be that as it may, we saw Santino Marella take the swerve, if you will, and attack Jerry Lawler at ringside, then going and getting prepped for his matchup. He comes back in and wrestles Jericho. In Jericho's first match in 2 years, we see the new finisher called the Codebreaker from Chris Jericho, and Jericho wins that match and then allows Jerry Lawler a little bit of comeuppance, if you will, in the ring with Santino Marella after the match. Very funny. Again, the Raw comedy act, Santino Marella. The Divas had a #1 contenders match. It was Mickie James taking on Melina. Melina still hotter than ever, folks. Mickie James wins this match. Beth Phoenix is at ringside. It's now one-on-one in Armageddon for the women's title. Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon, going up against Mickie James, which should be a good match. Mickie James, former 3-time WWE Women's Champion. We go on to the main event. It is Ric Flair. It is Randy Orton. It is one-on-one for the WWE Championship. No, not quite. Match not for the gold. The belt is not on the line. However, Ric Flair's career is indeed on the line in this matchup. Flair delivers a typical Flair match as of late. Keep in mind, I really don't think he's been doing much in the last 6 months as far as ring talent goes, but Randy Orton, Flair go neck and neck, tooth and nail, if you will. At the end of the match, we see the RKO, we see the figure 4, we see an RKO set up again, and then from ringside comes Chris Jericho, Y2J, who interferes, distracts the ref, low blow from Ric Flair, pull of the tights, hook of the leg. Ric Flair gets the 1-2-3 victory over the WWE Champion. Y2J stands at ringside, glaring at Randy Orton. What a Raw it was. It really did a good job in setting up Armageddon, giving a lot of tribute to SmackDown and the big things that happened on SmackDown last week. Vicky Guerrero getting tombstoned, Edge coming back, Batista and Edge this Friday night on SmackDown for the championship. Did this Raw and really had a true, clear, crisp story from beginning to end, which is the way they need to deliver this product every week, folks. Speaking of product, make sure you check out the weekly edition of the Pro Wrestling Report coming available right now on the website. Check out the new features on the homepage of pwrshow.com, which are also available. And also make sure you keep those forum posts coming and those email posts coming, as we will be delivering some of that content on air for our upcoming episode of the Pro Wrestling Report. For the Pro Wrestling Report, this is Dameon Nelson saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again here on PWR Express.